What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Music Mangs podcast. I'm Sean Barahani, joined today by.
We got Ace Burley here.
We got Jeremy Bell, aka Speed.
And today we are going to be talking about Kanye's potential new album, Donda.
Potential.
It has been potential. Big emphasis on potential, because if you're a fan of Kanye, you know that everything is very much so to be decided.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, Donda was supposed to release what, July 24th last year? That's almost a year. A year on Saturday. They're supposed to. I mean, at least that's not his latest. T-Lop was his latest album. It was like 500 some days late, but maybe we'll get this one.
One thing you know is that when Kanye does drop an album, it will be a masterpiece. I think that's something that, What, you disagree?
Are you gonna say that like Jesus is King is a masterpiece?
Come on. Okay. Usually when Kanye when Kanye drops a highly anticipated album, it is a masterpiece.
It definitely like stops the world. I will. That's one thing. Like everyone is watching, everyone's listening, paying attention to it. So
yeah,
that's huge.
So let's talk about what we already know when it comes to this. So I think it started off a few days ago with Kevin Durant. And who was the other guy in the studio with Kanye?
Oh, is it like Justin LeBoy or something like that?
Something like that.
Some guy, I didn't know who the heck he was.
Yeah, well, Kanye was in the studio with KD and this other man who we don't remember his name right now, but
it's Justin LeBoy.
Justin LeBoy. So Justin LeBoy was in the studio with Kanye and KD, and he tweeted that Kanye's album is finished and it's a masterpiece. It's light years ahead of its time. That's what Justin LeBoy said. Obviously, Kanye fans, knowing Kanye's track record, were very, speculative about whether the album would be coming out. And then fast forward, I think it's the next day, Kanye has a little secret listening party at a church in Las Vegas. Things are coming out of the church. People are saying, this is light years ahead of its time. This has these features and this kind of sound. And then Kanye fans are like, hey, we might actually be getting an album. But again, still a lot of speculation. I know, like in the Music Mangs group, we had Brendan saying, hey, I don't believe it yet. I'm not going to believe it until, it's on my Spotify. And then the next day, it's announced that Kanye will be having a listening event for the album in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that's when it became a whole lot more real. How do you guys feel about that?
After I saw Pusha T make a Instagram post about it, I was like super convinced. If it's him making like a promotion for the event, then it just might happen. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but I feel like it's going to be sometime soon.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is like there has never been an official release date release. Everyone's just kind of speculating Friday just because, he's having a listening party on Thursday, so you kind of expect it to be Friday. But we haven't heard anything. And the craziest thing about it all to me is that like Kanye has not said one word about this. He's not tweeted. He's not made any news or anything like that. And yet the world is going crazy. People think it's going to drop. All this stuff is going on, all word of mouth of everyone else.
One of the craziest things I saw is a tweet from someone who was at the listening event at the church. And they said that Kanye did not say a single word.
I read that too.
That just shows the power of Kanye crashed Ticketmaster. He was trending on Twitter and he hasn't said a word. Like, it's insane. Yeah. Some may say he's the most influential rapper of our generation.
He's up there. He's definitely up there.
But one thing I was thinking, because I know, Austin, you're tapped into Lil Nas X. There's a Lil Nas X song coming out Friday that's produced by Kanye. And I feel like it would be kind of odd for Kanye's album and a single produced by Kanye to come out on the same day. Do you guys agree with that, or do you have a different opinion?
Honestly, it's Kanye and he does what he wants. To me, he drops whenever he wants to drop. And I don't necessarily think it matters what anything else is, because if he really cared about something like that, he would probably be promoting this for weeks at a time, putting out singles, like a single maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago to promote this. But he hasn't said a word, and it might just drop unannounced, really. Like when it was just a secret release that's not really secret at the same time. But he doesn't care about sales anymore at this point. I mean, he makes so much from the Yeezy brand that I think that him just dropping an album whenever he wants to is whenever he wants to. And I think like Lil Nas X probably knows, like everyone's listening to Kanye, put out a song produced by Kanye, might build up on the hype. I mean, it could go either way for that. So to me, it really doesn't matter for Kanye's like vision.
Yeah,
Steve, any thoughts?
I basically have the same train of thought. I feel like if anything, it'll really just like add on to like the greatness of Kanye. I mean, depending on whether or not the album sounds good, I mean, we can expect it to, as well as a Lil Nas X song produced by Kanye. I mean, he almost never misses on production. So
If you've heard the beat like yet, it is so fire. Like the song is gonna be an absolute banger. And it's got Jack Harlow on it, which just helps like chart wise. Like it's gonna be a hit. And Kanye real like if this is like mostly Kanye's work, like man, that is absolutely insane. I love it already, and I've just heard snippets.
How crazy would it be if they did drop the same day and Kanye got the #1 song through Lil Nas X?
I think that's very real. You know, because Kanye in the past, I mean, years, I mean, past albums that he hasn't produced like a #1 single. He hasn't produced any like solo song that's gone crazy, you know, on the charts. So this could be the way to do it.
I
Putting
agree
out
with
one of the
that.
biggest pop stars out there right now and making a beat for him, releasing it on your like the same day as your album. I mean, that's a good plan.
So on the record, do you guys think that this album is coming out after this release party in Atlanta, or do you think it's going to get delayed a few days, weeks, months, years?
I think it has a better chance if it's like actually on the way that it's like going to be delayed like months if it's coming at all, because I'm just very skeptical with album releases because we've had rumors for so many other artists. Kendrick Lamar. So yeah, I'm just very skeptical. So personally, I don't think it's coming out Friday.
I'm gonna go with Saturday. Just only solely, this is the only reason why is because last year he tweeted July 24th Donda and he didn't say a year. So I'm just gonna give him that and say the 24th is Saturday. He's gonna release it then.
I'm going to go with, I think it's going to come out in like September, like a few months down the road. Because I don't know if you remember Jesus is King, there were these listening parties, the Sunday services, and you know it was months before the album ended up being released. And I think that like that's kind of the way that Kanye is going right now. I think that he's testing it out. What we get on the album might be completely different from what we hear at the listening party. Well, that's just my guess, because I mean Kanye is one of the most erratic figures in music. You really can't predict what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think with the Jesus King listening parties, it might have been 2 weeks before the album came out. And I'm pretty sure it was pretty much the same. I feel like I remember looking because I remember looking into that so much, and I thought that it wasn't too far off because he had the Sunday services, but the actual listening party was the same month of September. So it to me, I think it might come out in a couple weeks. All I hope is that at worst he does not like. I don't want him to release next week, next Friday, the 30th, because next Friday is the 30th, because Isaiah Rashad comes out, and I really don't want to get him overshadowed by Kanye, to be honest, because I love Isaiah Rashad, and it's been so long since he's dropped anything. So that is my only hope, is if he releases it, I hope it's just not next Friday.
Sound wise, what are you guys expecting from this album? When you hear things like this is light years ahead of its time, do you buy into that? What do you think that sounds like? Do you think this is like kind of like a Yeezus type project, or
I know this is like something that people want to avoid saying, but like the album name, you know, Donda being Kanye's mom, um, and like the whole drama between him and Kim Kardashian. Um, I just think from that like you can expect something like sonically innovative, as like wrong as it may be to say. Like it's the last thing you want to say when Kanye may be like in one of the worst stages of his life, but it'll be an experience for sure, I think.
I am not buying the hype. I truly am not, because I remember looking into the Jesus is King listening parties, and people were saying the exact same thing, right? And I remember hearing clips of Use This Gospel and being like, yo, this album is going to be absolutely sick, because like this song is great. And most of the songs were letdowns. That was a shining like moment in it. I heard snippets of one song that I did not like. I've been really into this. I've been looking at Twitter, looking at things, looking at little snippets of people posting from the listening party. One song I was not a huge fan of. It could be just because of the quality of the phone. Another song I did hear, and it had a Baby Keem verse, and Baby Keem, all I heard was Baby Keem's part, and Baby Keem went absolutely in. So that gives me hope. But I truly think that it will be better than Ye and Jesus is King. But I do not think that it's close to the other. Like to me, there's like a level for everything else other than Jesus is King and Ye. They're both down here compared to everything else that he's put out solo wise. And I think it's going to be better than the last two solo projects, but not as good as the old classic Kanye we know.
I can agree with that, but I think that that's still a victory for Kanye fans,
Oh, I do too.
or and music in general. But I think that because like Kanye's last album was not great at all. Some may even say it was bad. um Yay, I mean, I enjoyed I thought it was a pretty good album. But obviously, like chart wise, it did not do very well compared to Kanye's other work. I think that Kanye probably knows that this is like a very pivotal like album for his career and legacy. Like, hey, can Kanye turn it around and make another great album? And then pair that with like obviously the fact that it's named after his fallen mother. I think that knowing that it has that name, Kanye is not going to half-ass anything. He's going to be going 100%. And I think that's why it's taken so long for us to get this album. And I also think, like Jeremy said, like with his divorce and everything going on in his life, I think that we're going to get like a very emotional and at some points experimental album, which I think will be good.
Yeah, my kind of question with it all is that Jeremy, you were saying that it's going to be sonically, something we haven't heard of, and it's going to be, expanding and creative and pushing boundaries and things like that. That I can't tell where this album is going to like land at all, because we have things like Wash Us in the Blood, which is basically like Jesus mixed with Jesus is King, and then we have some of his samples, like from last summer. He posted like something with a snippet, and he had a sample of Lauryn Hill in the background that was like absolutely insane of a song. And then he puts out like Nah Nah Nah, and like he went through a divorce that like is probably going to get some emotional bars, that like there's just so many different like factors into this that I have no idea where this is going to land. And I don't know if it's going to be a Mod Podge of things, or if it's going to be something that is really sticking to a lane, but a creative lane.
Yeah, like do you think it's going to be a concept project, or you think it's going to be more like a compilation album type thing? I think that's what you're kind of going at.
If it's a concept, it's probably going to be surrounded by like trust and family, is what I would guess.
Yeah. I see, the thing is I know, like, I don't know if you guys, I don't want to spoil anything of like the features that have been talked about. I don't know if you guys have looked into that. There's tons of features.
I've like tried to stay away from looking or like listening to the work, but I have seen like the feature list. And I mean, that's expected with the Kanye project, like a large feature list.
Yeah, but like even think of like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of producers apparently that worked on this, that it's just I mean, I can't tell what the sound's going to be like.
I mean, again, like, look at the feature list for like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy
Yeah.
and the producer list, things like that. I mean, if there's any artist that like a large feature list doesn't scare me, it's Kanye. And I think
Yeah.
everyone can agree with that.
We'll see. Like, I agree. I don't think I'm scared of it. I'm just curious to where he's going to go with this direction, because there's very different sounds going on, and he's had
Yeah.
very different sounds from his previous work in the past year and a half, and it's just there's a lot of different things coming at us, and I have no idea, which makes me excited. It makes me more excited for a Kanye album, like, since, I mean, it might be T-Lop. Like, I wasn't as excited for Ye, to be honest, but I think I'm very excited about this because there's a lot of mystery behind it.
Any other predictions about the album?
I think Little Baby's gonna have the verse, if he's featured.
Like the Nicki Minaj on Monster verse.
Yeah, I think, because I mean, I've heard for last year that, I mean, there was videos and stuff of Little Baby and Kanye in the studio together. I think Little Baby's gonna be featured, and I think he's gonna steal the show. That's my prediction.
Lil Baby has been snapping on features.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeremy, do you have a hot take?
I mean, I'm with Austin on Lil Baby. After I heard his Grammy performance at the Bigger Picture, I was quite stunned because I wasn't super impressed by like his previous projects. But yeah, as you said, I think Lil Baby's gonna have his NBA YoungBoy on "Call Me If You Get
Yes.
Lost" moment.
I think my hot take would just be like, I think the album will get delayed, and I think it'll get changed a little bit. I think that's very possible. Besides that, like musically, part of me wants to say that this will not be a very experimental album, but I don't know. You never know with Kanye, and that's what's so great about it. Like, that's why I'm so excited for the listening party.
Yeah, you got to mention that.
Yeah. So Frank and I will be in Atlanta for the listening party. We'll be trying to cover it the best we can, give you guys the best content possible. But yeah, we're very excited. We'll be heading over there tomorrow and covering it from there. Hopefully Kanye shows up, doesn't cancel it or do anything crazy.
You fly in there and Kanye just cancels. that would be probably the most Kanye thing out there.
It would be, honestly. Or what if, like, I think at the church he was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Right? What if it's just not him under the mask?
What if it's just like, I don't know, like Tyler the Creator's under there, and obviously Tyler's a little taller and skinny, but like someone
Right.
just like some famous person out there doing it the entire time, at the end just takes off the
It's
mask.
Kendrick.
Like, what the hell? Like, Kendrick. If Kendrick was out there, man. What if this is actually Kendrick's album and he just
The biggest plot twist would be if Drake came out or was featured or something.
Is that your hot take? Drake's gonna be featured?
Drake's not featured, dude. No chance.
That would be great. That would be absolutely great.
I don't. Did you guys see like that new Pusha T song? He was like, or maybe it was a freestyle or something. He was like, Tyler got the album of the year.
I was
for
on
now.
Pop Smokes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it was.
On Pop Smokes.
I only saw his verse, but yeah.
What if actually, here's a hot take. Drake's gonna drop the same day as Kanye's album, just to spite him.
That would be a chart
dude.
battle.
What if Taylor Swift drops too?
Oh, screw Taylor Swift. that wouldn't even surprise me either. She
very
did
possible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the worst. Yeah, but I think that's all we have for our pre-potential album coverage of Donda. We will keep you guys updated from the listening party in Atlanta. And obviously we'll have some coverage once the album does release. I think Austin, you want to give a quick shout out?
Yeah. If you haven't been paying attention to our Twitter, Instagram, Life, we have someone named AWOL, who we interviewed back in November, was part of our virtual concert back in March. Real good guy. Well, he's currently in the US Top 50 Viral, or the USA Viral Top 50 on Spotify. And that's pretty insane. We just want you guys to make sure you go out and listen to that song. It's called Loverboy. Fantastic song. AWOL definitely deserves it. He's rising up. We talk with him. We know him. He's really an awesome guy. Please go stream Loverboy. Actually, stream Loverboy, and then you can stream the Kanye album. Do that first, and then get him up on the charts. Make sure he's top 10. So yeah, shout out AWOL.
And that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for checking in. We will keep you guys updated on Donda.
Peace.